I did want to go over just a couple of circle things. I think,
Okay.
people listening to the podcast would be remiss if we didn't talk at least a couple of things
Okay.
about the show. So, my first and favorite question, I don't know if I've gotten this answer from you. What's your favorite thing that didn't make air? Like either a memory, something funny, just heartwarming, whatever you got. Something. Sorry to put you on the spot. I know it's a tall order, but I
No,
always
no,
like
no.
this because they cut out a decent amount of stuff. We're there for a
Yo,
while.
they cut out they cut out so much stuff. Like I did some commentary. They had me like I was playing some games where I was like holding pillows on my head. I just made up games. And I was doing commentary as somebody else, as me commentating myself doing the pillow game. And then I came in as a different voice that I hadn't introduced. And then I had to save, and I was like, "Oh yeah, thanks, Tom. I was in the restroom the entire time. I thought you were gonna wait for me." And I just remember, like, oh my God, that's so bad, but it was also so funny. They didn't put any of that in. I had so many more pickup lines for
Yeah.
Imani. They didn't put those in. Like
Those are what I wanted to hear.
in. I had on some Flamingo underwear. And so as I was standing, like the first day when I was talking to Imani, I was like, "Oh, I'm ready to flamingo." And I pulled up my my shorts and they had a little flamingo on my thigh. So yeah, it was a lot of stuff that I was surprised that they didn't put in there. I was taken away. I was like, wow, that's a lot that they didn't have in there.
The one for me is I thought they were going to really publicly shame me. There was probably 3 separate times I tried to do a hula hoop, and apparently my hips do not work like they did when I was a child because I cannot hula hoop anymore. It was actually like really disheartening because I was like, I used to do this all the time as a kid. What the hell is going on? And so there are literally 3 separate occasions of me really trying to hula hoop and failing every single time. And I was like, they didn't even show it once. I was like, phew. I was like, no one's gonna know about this unless I tell them.
So when we did the peach run, so I made up a chant for the team. And they didn't use it. I thought they would use it. I was like, "You see the peach? You see the peach? I'm on the roll with it. Turn around and stroll
They got
with
part of it. They didn't do the
did
whole.
they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they did.
yeah.
I do remember hearing that, and there's no other way. And that's part of the show is we're in our own apartment, and there's just so many moments I was like, yeah, that'll be on the air. And it's, nope, they cut that all out. Yeah.
No, it didn't.
One thing I was curious, Alex, because both of you were late entrants into the game and you came in even later than Alex did. Alex last episode was talking about how he killed time in his pre-circle quarantine, watching a bunch of stuff on Netflix. How did you kill time before you entered the circle?
Oh man, so I'm sure Alex has gone over this, but they had us like on lockdown, so you couldn't go out unless your chaperone was with you. But then my chaperone, he didn't mind walking, so we literally walked like 10 miles a day. Like we just walked we walked he was a walker, I was a walker. I just wanted to be outside, right? So I was just walking. We walked the loop, we walked down canal, everything came back. And then we started talking about movies, and luckily he was into movies as well. So I watched Fargo. I had never seen the show Fargo. I'd seen the movie, and it's so good. Then I watched Better Call Saul, and I never watched Better Call Saul because I didn't think it was gonna be good.
And it was wrong.
Freaking I was like, yo, this is great. Like he was like, I told you. He was like, I told you, bro. I told you it's really good, right? It's really good. And so I was like, yeah. And we what else? So we watched that. I watched Fargo. I watched Humans, which is something we don't have over here.
Humans. I didn't even get into the long list of British TV shows I watched. Ready for this? I'm going to blow the people's mind. I have to break this. Later than 10 p.m. in England, you can show full frontal nudity on cable television.
Yes. And
the most bizarre thing, there's a show, and we would watch it quite often because it's amazing. It's called... it's called Dating Naked, and they literally will reveal people's bodies slowly, like feet up, and show their naked body until their face is the last thing they reveal, and they have to like one by one eliminate people just based on their private parts.
Yes.
I was obsessed. They switch off. There's girls that they reveal, and then there's guys they reveal. And what was really interesting to me was that
Naked Attraction. That's it.
Yes. Oh,
Naked
thank
Attraction.
you. That's what it's called. It's called Naked Attraction. And this show, what was really funny to me too, was they would go on a first date and they'd film it, and they would come back 2 weeks later, and it was like, how's your relationship going? And 9 times out of 10, they were like, we haven't spoken since.
Yo,
it was so real though.
That part.
No one tried to sugarcoat it, and they were always like, haven't spoken to him since.
I didn't see that part. See, I only saw when the guy And the girls, when they would look at the guys, like, so what do you think about that? Like the ladies, like, what do you think about that bum, right? You like that? You know?
They have a million like
Wow.
slang words for private parts. And the introduction was like poking fun at itself. It was like headlines of the show. And so it would be like the death of culture, the worst television show of all time. And I was like, you've piqued my interest. I am very curious as to what we're about to watch now.
I asked one of the producers, and they had worked on it before, and they said that that while they were on the show, like some of the guys, they had to take a second because they were like free cum. Like when they came out, and it was like, yeah, it was some droplets on the floor, so we had to go and take care of those. Do a rerun. We did it over from the top, and it was all good. And I was like, yo, that's
This took
hilarious.
a way different turn than I was originally intending. I'll be honest.